was wondering, why is it that the so-called high places were not being brought down? And the best person who could have done that was Jeroboam, but he refused to bring that high places down. Now, these high places we are talking about is more like a special temple that have been built for sacrifices unto the smaller gods, and everyone coming in were doing marvelously well, like the ones that were doing well, that were following God's instruction, that were doing well in the Lord's sight. They still ended up not bringing down the high places. Now the question is how? Why were they sparing those high places? Now, in the whole book of First and Second Kings, if you ask me what am I looking out for now, this is what I'm looking out for. Who is going to end up bringing that place down? Is there anyone that ever brought down the high places, or they just left it there? And like I asked from the beginning of the video, do we still have high places? Yes, we do. Those places are different from what we used to have. Before, it used to be a place. Now it used to be an event. It used to be a situation. It's now an event, a situation, It's now what happens in your life. What are those high places? What are those things we carry above God? Those are high places that we carry above God Almighty, that we are doing. Whatever that is taking God from us is an high place. Or let me say they are high places. Anything that is taking God from us, anything that is keeping us away from God's instruction, if it is social media, one thing I've noticed is that you cannot do the two together these days. Like, if you want to be on social media, you're going to be on social media. If care is not taken, you will be dreaming about social media. Even when you sleep, social media will replace your dream life. That's what I've noticed. So I think the best thing, because I noticed that whenever I stay too long on social media, it projects into my dream. In fact, whatever song I listen to that is not right, they stick to my head. Even like, assuming you wake up first thing in the morning and the song that is singing in your mind is inappropriate song. So that's how bad it is. So I have noticed that these days things are getting stuck to us based on what we are doing. So if you are the type that sometimes when I listen, like I notice whenever I listen to the word of God, maybe through Joshua Seman or any other person, Dr. D.K. Olukoya, or who else, sometimes I listen to this man, Pastor Jereze, any one of these pastors that I love their message. So whenever I listen to them, and I, when I listen to them, it gets stuck here. Okay, so when it gets stuck here, it projects into my dream as well. So it's and that's why I am always more concerned about our children, especially our teenagers. I mean, I'm a serious snitch in my house. Like I sniff around everywhere. I check. I have noticed that only God can actually help us to raise our children. And the best prayer to pray is that God should arrest them to do the right thing, because parents can only try. You will try, but the students or children of nowadays, they are too smart for you to get them down, or for you to say, oh, I catch you. No, you may catch them at that moment, but they will be on court later behind you, because they have stuff to do that you are not even aware of. So I pray that God will arrest our children and put his fear in them, so that even when you're not there, they will realize that God is seeing them. Mama, Papa may not be there, but God watches and sees things. Hello, good day, my glorious families. I welcome you to today's chapter of the day. All right. Today's chapter is in chapter 14, Judah's king Amaziah. At least I still love that name, Amaziah, compared to Jehoash, Jehoboaz. I mean, I'm tired. I'm tired of those names. I'm getting so fed up about those names. Hebrew, your names are so funny. Anyway, in the second year of Israel's king Jehoash, son of Jehoahaz, Amaziah, son of Jehoash, became king of Judah. He was 25 years old when he became king, and he reigned 29 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Jehohadan. Jehohadan. Who is giving them all these names? So identical names. How do we identify who is who? She was from Jerusalem. He did what was right in the Lord's sight. Okay, thank God. So Amaziah did what was right in the Lord's sight. Thank you, Amaziah. Okay, I was looking out for that. But not like his ancestor David. He did everything his father Joash had done, yet the high places were not taken away, and the people continued sacrificing and burning incense on the high places. Now my question is, today, do we still have high places? In fact, we have high mountains. We have thousands of high places that I don't think will be taken away ever, because we just have to, it just have to be there till thy kingdom come. Because it has been written that you have to let everything grow together. Then when the time comes, everything, they will separate the weed from the main thing. So it's all about time. All right. Verse 5. As soon as the kingdom was firmly in his grasp, Amaziah killed his servants who had killed his father the king. However, he did not put the children of the killers to death. So you should be expecting them to come after you. As it is written in the book of the law of Moses, where the Lord commanded, fathers are not to be put to death because of children, and children are not to be put to death because of fathers. Instead, each one will be put to death for his own sin. Are we learning? Because I am learning. All right. So that had already nullify the sin that says, okay, fathers will suffer what children will suffer what the fathers have done, the consequences of the father's sin and all of that. Like I always say, I don't pray to suffer the consequences of my parents' sin or my late parents' sin. I don't wish to. So when anybody offends you, stop bringing their children into the matter. As for me, I don't buy the idea, because those children are innocent. Most especially when the children are innocent, they are not part of the deal, the evil deal. So why will you drag the innocent children into the mess and then start cursing on them? I don't appreciate that part. I don't. Verse 7, Amaziah killed 10,000 Edomites in Salt Valley. He took Selah in battle and called it Joktheel, which is still its name today. Amaziah then sent messengers to Joash, son of Jehoaz, son of Jehu, king of Israel, and challenged him, "Come, let's meet face to face." That's what we call eyeballs to eyeballs. Koju. All right. King Jehoash of Israel sent word to King Amaziah of Judah, saying, "The Tistim in Lebanon once sent a message to the cedar in Lebanon, saying, 'Give your daughter to my son as a wife.' Then a wild animal in Lebanon passed by and trampled the trees too. You have indeed defeated Edom, and you have become overconfident. Enjoy your glory and stay at home." That's a warning. Bad warning. Why should you stir up such trouble that you fall, you and Judah with you? But Amaziah would not listen. So King Jehoash of Israel advanced. He and King Amaziah of Judah met face to face at Beth Shemesh that belonged to Judah. Judah was rooted before Israel, and each man fled to his own tent. King Joash of Israel captured Judah's king Amaziah, son of Joash, son of Ahaziah, at Beth Shemesh. Then Jehoash went to Jerusalem and broke down 200 yards of Jerusalem's wall, from the Ephraim gate to the corner gate. He took all the gold and silver, all the articles found in the Lord's temple and in the treasuries of the king's palace, and some hostages. Then he returned to Samaria. Joash's death. Okay. Verse 15. The rest of the events of Joash's reign, along with his accomplishments, his might, and how he waged war against King Amaziah of Judah, are written in the historical record of Israel's kings. Jehoash rested with his fathers, and he was buried in Samaria with the King kings of Israel. His son Jeroboam became king in his place. Now, all right. Amaziah's death, another subheading. Judah's king Amaziah, son of Jehoash, lived 15 years after the death of Israel's king Jehoash, son of Jehoash. The rest of the events of Amaziah's reign are written in the historical record of Judah's kings. A conspiracy was formed against him in Jerusalem, and he fled to Lachish. However, men were sent after him to Lachish, and they put him to death there. They carried him back on horses, and he was buried in Jerusalem with his fathers in the city of David. So if you really want to know more, go get the book, go get the book, the historic record of Judah's kings. Verse 21, all the people of Judah took Azariah, who was 16 years old, and made him king in place of his father's Amaziah. Now look, the father is Amaziah, gave his son name as Ahaziah. I don't know why they keep doing that. So they will just remove one name and merge together and attach some letters, and that's another name. That's very funny. All right. After Amaziah, the king rested with his fathers, Azariah rebuilt Elath and restored it to Judah. Israel's king Jeroboam, in the 15th year of Judah's king Amaziah, son of Joash. Jeroboam, son of Joash, became king of Israel in Samaria, and he reigned 41 years. Wow. He did what was evil in the Lord's sight. He did not turn away from the sins Jeroboam, son of Nebat, had caused Israel to commit. Now, so this is Jeroboam, son of Jehoash. And there is also Jeroboam, son of Nebat, which is the Jeroboam we've been used to all this while. Now, this is another Jeroboam. Okay. He restored, verse 25, he restored Israel's border from Lebo Hamath as far as the sea of the Arabah, according to the word the Lord, the God of Israel, has spoken through his servant, the prophet Jonah, son of Amittai, from Gath Ephah. Verse 26, for the Lord saw that the affliction of Israel was very bitter for both slaves and free people. There was no one to help Israel. The Lord had not said he would blot out the name of Israel under heaven. So he delivered them by the hand of Jeroboam, son of Jehoash. Okay, the rest of the events of Jeroboam's reign, along with all his accomplishment, the power he had to wage war, and how he recovered for Israel's Damascus and Hamath, which had belonged to Judah, are written in the historical record of Israel's kings. That's more like a rhyme. Jeroboam rested with his fathers, the kings of Israel. His son Zechariah became king in his place. That's what I want to know. Zechariah, how are you? Welcome to the show. Okay, so let me see any commentary that I want to go through, but okay, there is no commentary right now. I don't know why. Okay, so what I'm going to add here is that this is my commentary now, because the Bible does not, this particular Bible, the commentators went on break at this point. Okay, they went on break for chapter 14, chapter 15, chapter 16, and I think I need to question them for that, because in this chapter I truly need some explanation. All right, so in my own opinion, I would like to explain certain things, like the way these people, they came in and left. I have noticed that for those ones that were able to stay, like they were able to stay great with God, like they were able to do certain things, they were able to keep God's commandment, they are always being honored and being, God is always doing something special for them. So I will see you again in my next video. Bye bye. God bless you for always watching.